Much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the national. Place was loud. Somehow this place got even louder a short time ago as the Falcons were introduced to this sellout crowd. We're set to go as the Falcons get ready to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A carry for Devontae Freeman, who missed most of last season. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Out of the gun, Luck. Trying to lay one up deep. And got his man complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones. His first touchdown of the new season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Miles Sanders, the rookie 2nd-rounder from Penn State. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On second down, it's Grant. $19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Luck on first down. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Check out read.
Throwing on third down, Luck. He's going to let this one go deep. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, if they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run. It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now Wentz on third down. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Devondre Campbell flies in to blow that play up. Here's Cameron Johnston now. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession. But likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. He'll return it from the 6. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. A About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston. Then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
And Falcons fans everywhere excited that Devontae Freeman is back on the field wearing number 24 in the red and black. Remember, he went down in week 2 in 2018 with an injury and didn't return. They're hoping to see the form that led him to 1,000-yard seasons in 2015 and 2016.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at him.
Gets it off to Freeman. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. 17 yards and a first down for Philly. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So
and down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. And Charles, this infraction is going to be against the offense. False start.
Sometimes you have to get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure your team is set before you begin your cadence.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Wentz. He's going to float this one deep right side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And he'll get this back across the midfield, striping down to the 47-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
You go take. You go take. You 12.
On first down, Luck. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones. As the first half is winding down. And the Falcons push further out in front. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
We're done. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. Alert flare. Alert flare.
Please. Hey, other side. Solid.
Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Watch tight. Tight ends right. Watch tight. Tight ends right. Even.
Now this time, Wentz will throw. This one complete to Sproles. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. that situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. They'll run on first down. Grant. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up second and yard at the Eagles' 35-yard line.
They go back to Grant, and he gets it down to the 32.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Luck. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Sacked by Brandon Graham. He's been doing that since he entered the league in 2010. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
You draw Corker.
Check safety, check safety.
Go ahead.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Luck. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Sproles. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Now Wentz. Screen pass to Sproles. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Here's Cameron Johnston now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He's going to field this at the 4. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Play action. It's Luck. He's going to go for a big play downfield. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones. His 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game. And the Falcons push further out in front. Ryan tacks on the extra point. Back now here on EA Sports. Well, the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
On the move to his left. And a nice job there defensively to contain him and get him to the ground a few yards short of the first down marker. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Cameron Johnston now. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And we'll see what he can do on the return. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. This is Grant, and an alley to run. And now nothing but green ahead of him. 20, 10, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Corey Grant, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys continue to pour it on. The PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drive into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. On 1st down, it's Grant. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That good for 22 and a 1st down. They'll try to run it in, going option right. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Andrew Luck keeping it himself from 5 yards out. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that will extend this big lead. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. It's brought in by Jeffrey. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. It's an Eagles 1st down on a gain of 11. Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. The Clemson Tiger, Vic Beasley, reaches home that time. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. After the sack on 1st down, Wentz. That's caught by Jackson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score.
48th Mike.
Hey, exit.
Now Wentz. It's complete. It's Sproles. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's an Eagles 1st down on a gain of 11.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
They'll run it with Sproles. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. Now Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Wentz. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Vic Beasley making it look easy, cruising in for the sack. To try again after the sack. Wentz. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing is Wentz. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th.
82.
They'll go for it. It's Wentz. Out to his left. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Falcons grab it.